Good morning. I'm Rosie von Lila, and today I'm here to discuss terrifying firsts. I have an unusual background that has been built on irrational choices that have scared the crap out of me the entire time. And before we do that, I need to share something with you. Do you know why I'm here? I'm here to play. Now let me ask you a question. For the next 20 minutes, will you play with me? Yes? Are you willing to play with me? Yes. Are you willing to play with me? All right, so we're all in. So, this morning's story begins here. If you know what this is, shout it out. It's Burning Man. Who knows what Burning Man is? Who does not know what Burning Man is? Who's been to Burning Man? My tribe. So Burning Man is an event, it's a culture, it's a global movement. This picture here, this is the city of Black Rock City. This is the event that takes place in the United States. This is 70,000 people who have come together for 1 week to play together in what I call the biggest playground on earth. And what they come to be part of is a culture that's built on generosity, participation, and creativity. I started going to Burning Man in my late teens, and this year is going to be my 17th year. And it has profoundly influenced who I am and how I view the world. And when I'd been going to Burning Man for 12 years, a friend of mine said, I think you should work for the organization. And I was like, I love this idea, yes! And so within a year, I was working for Burning Man. I worked for Burning Man for 3 years. And part of my job was I worked for the communications department, I worked for the fundraising team, and I worked for the regional network. And part of my role was to travel around the world and talk to communities about the culture of Burning Man and support people where they wanted to foster a more creative, more participatory culture. So I said that Burning Man has profoundly impacted me. What it has done is it has instilled in me a tremendous creative confidence, a willingness to take risks, and a deep desire to be of service to the world and to contribute. Now, quick side story. I have spent the last 5 years giving each year a one-word theme. And up until 2016, my words were very practical. Last year's theme was security. And what happened last spring was the Burning Man organization, after I'd been contracting with them for 3 years, said, we would love to hire you, and we want to hire you full-time to run all of our fundraising events around the world. Now this, for me, was a dream job. And this brings me to my first terrifying first. So the dream job was working with people that I love, doing something that I was entirely capable and experienced at, working for a company that I love, and working for a mission that brings me alive. The only problem, there was a problem, and the problem was a few weeks before they offered this position to me, I had decided in my heart, because I was feeling pulled to something else and I didn't know why, but I had decided that I was done with my life as a senior events producer. So I ended up turning down my dream job, which was a job that I had manifested. And I call myself a mega manifester. Now, by the way, a quick side story. A few years ago, I was playing with this idea of manifestation, and I said, I want to meet these two people. And they were two specific people. They are two of the most known business people in the world, and at the time, they seemed stratospherically out of my reach. So this was like the biggest dream that I could think of at the time. And within 1 month, I had met the first person, and not only had I met him, he brought to our meeting a birthday gift for me. And within 3 months, I had met the second person. And not only had I met him, we were sitting next to each other at dinner. And when this happened, I said, holy crap, there's really something to this manifestation stuff. And what manifestation is for me is it's driven by this desire to be of service to something bigger. It's driven by a desire to be playful and to have fun and to live this life and live a bigger life and dream bigger. And so when I said to myself, okay, well, I need to dream bigger, what's the biggest dream that I can dream? And I said, I want to do 2 things in my lifetime. I want to work with the most creative, most talented, most passionate people, the most connected, most influential, most powerful people who share the same vision for the world that I do. And what's that vision? It's two things. Number one, it's learning how to truly steward our resources and protect our planet for future generations. And number two is creating a world where all humans have their basic needs met and have the opportunity to self-actualize. Or another way to say that is to be the best that they can be. Now, what the heck is manifestation? I found this on my Facebook feed, and I was like, that is manifestation. Manifestation is deciding what you want. It's writing it down. It's making a plan, and then it's working on it every single day. It's working on it with focused attention and persistent effort. Are you with me? Yes? Good, okay. So next terrifying first. So what happened after I decided to leave Burning Man, this was just last year, was not even a month later, an opportunity opened up in New York, and I moved, and things changed. My world changed dramatically. So with all this experience that I had in understanding participatory cultures and building communities, I saw an opportunity. The opportunity was this. I said, for this massive dream that I'm thinking of, that I want to work on, it's going to happen through three channels, three main categories. Number one is through participation of the people. Number two is through business and governance. And number three is through business and markets. And number three is through governance and policy. And so I decided, with all this experience that I had, that I would write a framework on how to engage people in the world. So my next terrifying first was planting a flag. I was deciding what to name this framework, and I had lots of names for it. And one of them in particular, I asked my advisors about it, because I was like, should I do this? I don't know. Will people think I'm vain if I do this? Will people think I'm vain if I name it the Von Lila framework? And I ended up naming it this. Because, they gave me the courage to do so, but it was really freaking scary. And I did it in part because I said, I want this to be something that I'm known for. I want this to be one of my marks on the world. I want people to know me for this work. And so that's what I've done. And it took tremendous courage to not give a crap about what anybody thought and actually just put it out. And it's worked out well. So the framework, by the way, Von Lila means from the place of play. So this is a framework that has a spirit that comes from the place of play. So the framework does two things. First, it shifts people from being what I call passive consumers of life, and it awakens them to being solutions creators and idea makers. And the other thing that it does is it builds the human network. Now, why is this important? It's important because the way that we build our businesses, the way that we get stuff done is through the people that we know, right? Right? Yes. Okay. The other thing that it does, or the reason that it's important, is because at this time in our life, the issues that we're facing in our world are so huge. The challenges are so huge, it's so magnificent. There's such tremendous opportunity that anybody who can help must help. And we all can help in some way. We all must take responsibility for this wonderful place that we live, wherever on this planet you live. So this is a framework about empowerment and making things happen. So through this framework, I told you I have an unusual background. It's taken me to some really incredible places. I got invited to the United Nations. I was invited to the Pentagon to present this framework, and to the Department of Defense. I say, peace. I was invited last fall to speak at the National Defense University. And what they're interested in is they want to know how to engage people. And why am I speaking in the heart of the United States Department of Defense? The reason that I'm there is because I've dedicated my life to being in service to greater equality in the world. And if that means that I have to go to the middle of the Pentagon and talk about Burning Man culture, then so be it. So the framework has 7 elements. And they're split into 3 categories. It's attitude, access, and agency. And I'm only going to talk about 2 of the elements right now for the sake of time. If you'd like to know more about them, the website is vonlila.com. So the first element that we're going to look at is in attitude. And attitude starts with curiosity. This is how you're going to create everything that you want in your life. It starts with questions, asking yourself the question of, what do I want? What do I want in my life? What do I want for my family, for my community? What do I want for my world? So that's the first element of attitude. We're going to jump down to element 6, which is part of agency. Agency is about empowerment. This element is connecting. It's an action. Now, connecting, does anybody think that connecting is different from networking? Yes? How's it different? Okay, you can't connect without networking. Oh my God, I love my software tech people. So he gave me a tech answer. So it's perfect. I love it. I'm going to give you a human answer. I'm going to speak human for a minute. So connecting, networking in a human sense, is leveraging your relationships to build your business pipeline. Connecting is different. Connecting seeks to add value to a system so that all ships can be raised. The way that connecting works is you pay attention to what's happening in the relationships that you have in your network. You find out who needs what, and you listen, and you remember, you pay attention. And as you hear things like this person needs this thing and this person has this thing, you introduce them and you connect them. There's no gain for you other than you add value to the system. And when you add value to the system, you become valuable. And when you're valuable, people want relationships with you. And when you have relationships with people, they are more likely to help you when you need things. So if you want to build strong relationships, if you want to have powerful relationships, bring generosity to them first. Don't come thinking, what's my ask? Come asking, how can I be of service to you? How can I help you? And even better yet, pay attention while they're talking so you don't necessarily need to ask that. So this is either human or digital. Okay, so again, the framework is for empowerment, and it's for making things happen. Okay, terrifying first for all of us is raising money. So who here has had is terrified of raising money, or has been in the past, or is like currently? None of you are all square? Yes, good. Raise your hands high, raise your hands high. Come on, I know it's hot. We're playing here, right? Are we playing? Yes, good. Are we playing? I didn't hear all of you. Are we playing? Okay, good. So, raising money. I went to South by Southwest earlier this year, and I had started a company a few months prior. It's called Lumera. There we go. I'd started a company a few months prior, and we needed to raise initial operating capital. And I was relying on my male co-founder to go and find the money because I was too uncomfortable to ask my friends for money. So my background is my mom raised me on her own. My dad passed away when I was 3 years old, and we didn't have a lot of money growing up. In fact, our first vehicle, my mom had a 10-speed bicycle with a rack on the back, and we would put a towel and a bungee cord, and I would ride on the back of that thing. I was like 7 years old, totally hurt my butt, but that's how we got around town. So I grew up not having a lot of money, and I realized that I didn't have money role models growing up. And so when I was at South by Southwest this past year, there was a panel that had the best name. It was called Dude, Where's My Patriarchy? And in this panel, they were talking about, one of the things I spoke about was the difference, and they were generalizing, of course, so this doesn't hold true for everybody, but there's some truth in generalizations. They were saying that one of the differences between men and women is that historically, men have been closer to money and closer to transacting and closer to doing business. And so if you're a young man and you have a dad, you're more likely to be exposed to those practices. You have opportunity to learn how to do that. Women, girls, historically haven't had that opportunity. And so what they said in the panel that really caught my attention is that women treat their relationships differently than men do. Men will do a business deal if it makes sense, but women won't even ask for it. And I was like, holy crap, I'm doing that. I need to make this company go, and yet I'm not willing to ask my friends for money. So what I did was I went home that night, I wrote down a list of everybody that I could think of who would support my dream, and I reached out to them, and in 24 hours, I met with 5 people. 4 of them invested or gave me commitments, and 1 of them offered to give me a loan. 5 out of 5 people. And that never would have happened before March. And I was like, I did that. And now, to date, I've raised $140,000 for our company. I've never done that before. And the power of this is being willing to ask. It's stretching yourself and doing the thing that's really uncomfortable. And the way that I sent an email to them was it started out, subject line, an invitation to help me make some dreams come true. And then I said, I'm writing to you because I don't have family that I can ask for money. And I want to talk with you about investing in me. Will you meet with me? And they all said yes. So Lumera is an investment company. We focus on infrastructure. Why? Because I'm out to make massive change, and infrastructure is one of the major levers that we have to pull to shape society. Okay. Also, a quick note on how to raise money from people. 2 pieces of advice. 1, be a person that other people want to invest in. Be a decent human being. Be transparent. Have integrity. Be nice to talk to. And then the second thing is build a business or have an idea that's investable. Okay, let's assess relationship to money. So like I said, I didn't have any money mentors. I came from a long lineage of women who didn't know how to make money work for them. And I said, I need some money mentors. Does anybody else come from a family that was dysfunctional with money? Yeah? The rest of you are like, all good. Are you just hot? Am I boring you? Okay, good. So, assessing your relationship to money. Who here loves their money? Raise your hands high. Who here loves their money? Okay, who here has like, money's like root of evil? It's like, Yeah, okay, a couple of you. I imagine that's more of you. So here's the deal. If you want to have abundance in your life, if you want to have freedom of choice, if you want to have the freedom to support anybody that you want to have any experience in this one short lifetime that you have, then you need to have abundance of money. And to have abundance of money, you have to have a loving, kind relationship to it, where you care for it and you pay attention to it. Has anybody ever ignored their bank account? I totally have. How do you know when you're going to go over if you're not looking at your bank account? Like, I used to go over all the time. It was only a few years ago that I started loving my money. And I also used to never call it my money. It was just money. And when it's not mine, I don't have responsibility towards it. And now things have totally changed around. Also, one other thing that I started doing that has increased abundance in my life is this is totally irrational. I had a bunch of debt, and I asked, I'm totally woo-woo, by the way, so I asked one of my psychic guides if there was anything blocking my relationship to money, and they said, you need to start tithing 10% of all of your income. And I was like, God, really? All that could go to my credit card debt. Oh my God. So I started doing it, and at first, it was really terrifying. And you know what happened? More money comes, and every time I give it away, I'm like, this feels amazing. And in fact, this month, I had like $100 that I didn't know who to allocate to, so I've been carrying it around in my purse, waiting for people to ask me for money, so I can give them money. And like, they're not asking me, so I just hang on to it. Okay, so you have to get in right relationship with your money, and you have to change your attitude about money. Now, every single morning, I'll tell you how I bring more money into my life. I say to myself, I'm totally running out of time, you guys. This is really exciting. It's like a cliffhanger. We have to do this thing that we're going to jump to right now, okay? I'm going to tell you what I do, and then will you play with me for real? Like, we play together? For real? Yeah? Okay. Okay. So what I do every single morning is I get myself amped up, and then I say to myself, and you get to hear one of my life goals right now, or one of my goals for the next few years. I say what it is that I want to create. So it goes like this. I say what I want to create, I say what I'm willing to give, the price that I'm going to pay for that, the service that I'm going to give for it, and why I want it. So I say, I am a multimillionaire. I'm a multimillionaire. I am a multimillionaire. And I say it with emotion and passion. And then I say, what I'm willing to give is my focused attention and my persistent effort. I give my focused attention, my persistent effort. And what am I going to give as service? I'm going to give 110%. 110% of my talent, 110% of my communication skills, of my speaking skills, of my passion, of my love, of my heart to build a business that serves humanity and serves our planet. This is what I'm up to, and this is why I'm a multimillionaire. So, does that sound like it might be fun to do in the morning? Yeah? Okay, would anybody like a little more energy right now? Yes? Okay. So, stand up for me, please. Okay, raise both hands because you said you were going to play. Yes? Right? Okay. So, in order to change your attitude, you have to change your physiology. Okay? What this means is we're going to move our body. So, for the next minute, you're going to move your body as much as you can. And let's pray that this works. Yes? Yeah, there we go, baby. Okay, you're going to give it 110%. Can we make it louder in the back? Louder? Move your arms. Move your hips. I'm serious, you guys. I do this every single morning. Every morning. I did it before I came here. If you want more money in your life, move your body. Shoulders. All right. Are you ready to go to 110%?
reality show. I got a million different tunes in my heart, and it is all for you.
Keep going! Come on! Do you have more energy? Yeah, right? All right, I do that. You can sit back down. Keep your energy up, though. You can wiggle your butt. I do this every single morning. I do it multiple times per day. But I do that. I did it to that this morning because I wasn't visualizing being here with you. But always to house music, always stuff that's really upbeat, sometimes to AC/DC. So where did I get this stuff from? This practice, aside from the dancing, is from this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This is a personal development business classic. I recommend reading it. It will change your life if you do it. Okay, we are out of time. Really quickly, I wanted to say one of the pitfalls of being a founder, of running a company, is mixing your identity with your business, which is then co-mingling your value with the value of your company and the success or failure of your company. Did you know that 30% of entrepreneurs suffer from depression? 49% of us say that we have mental health issues. 29% say that they have ADD, which can be a downer if you haven't learned how to work with your ADD yet. And so one of the things I'm a big advocate for is this website called suicideispreventable.org. I know too many people who have killed themselves. I know that all of you probably know somebody who has as well. So it's really important to learn what the signs are and how to talk to people about it. Lastly, in order to keep yourself out of that dark hole, you have to be relentlessly resourceful. Save the phone number for a suicide prevention hotline in your phone in case you ever go to a really dark place. Be relentlessly resourceful. No matter when you have all your chips on the table, you've put everything in, you always have more resourcefulness within you. You can dig deeper. You can ask for help. Resources can be something like, I need help. If you do this, you will be a badass mofo. I'm going to end with this. The world that we want is within our reach. Be the person that you really want to be. Be the person that you came onto this planet to be. Thank you very much for your time today.